In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a mirror show for an existing show. Now, this method will be used only if you've already sold tickets for a show. So if you already have sales in a show, then you can use this. Otherwise, check out the video on how to just set up a general admission social distancing performance. What we're going to be doing is that mirror show that we'll be setting up is going to be a general admission show. We'll get more into that later. Before we do anything else, you might want to go and watch that Measuring the House video that Center Stage put out. That's just going to show you how to figure out what your total capacity for a day will most likely be, and how you can assign seating after you've made sales and closed sales for a performance. Now, this is the show that I'm going to make a mirror copy of. Now, the mirror copy is going to be a general admission. This show is reserved seating, and it already has sales in for it, and it's been selling for quite a while. So when we get to the browse report and the transferring of sales from this show to the new one, that will take a little bit of time. This is a process that you're going to maybe want to bring some of your box office staff into, and just make sure that you've trained them really well on how to do this. Also, if you're alone in the box office, which I know a lot of you are, this would be a good moment to maybe get some of the other folks in the company involved as well, and just make sure that they are following your procedures, but that'll cut down on your time quite a bit. Now, the important thing with the mirror show is that we want all the dates to be the same. We can also copy our prices from this show to the mirror show. If you're in version 6, you can use that run of show. If you're in version 5, you'll want to use the copy prices function from the utilities. And of course, if you have any questions about any of these steps, give us a call or email us and we'll be happy to walk you through. So let's set up our mirror show. Before I do anything else, I'm going to note that my first date is on the 6th. My last date is on the 30th. So I'll go into Show, Utilities, add a new show. Now, you'll want to make the name of the show similar to the one that already exists. I've seen people just add the word "the musical" behind something, or the date or the year, something like that. This mirror show will be available for sale online at the end of the whole process. So you want to make sure that it's not a weird title for your patrons to see. That being said, I'm going to say American Mirror just for my own ease of use for this video. I'm going to copy my data from An American in Paris, that original show, and I'll add this show. Now, the very first thing we're going to do is check that copied over correctly. Before I add anything, my previous show was online, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to delete my internet domain so that it doesn't accidentally show up online while I'm working on it. Now I'll add a date, and my first date to add was the 6th. So August 6th, 20, and I know that that is at 8 o'clock p.m. And I'll add my date and time. There it's added in. Now, just like any show setup that you'll ever do, I'm going to go in and set up my first date first. Now, this is assuming that I've measured my house. I've decided that my total capacity is going to be 192. And there it's set. Now, I don't need to fill in anything in these prices and categories because my run of show prices were copied from An American in Paris. Like I said, in version 5, you'll want to go in and copy over those prices individually, and we can certainly help you do that if you need help with that. Since I have many dates, I'm going to add multiple dates. Now, this is a function that not everyone has used, so I'm going to just take a minute or two to let you know how to use this. This is going to really save you a little bit of time when you're going through. So we're going to set our starting date and our ending date. Since we've already added the 6th, I'm going to start with the 7th. So just like that. And our last date is going to be the 30th. So there we go. So we have any performances that fall between the 7th and the 30th because we've already entered in the 6th. Now we're going to set our defaults, which I'm going to set as the most common time. So in this example, I know I have a 2 o'clock show on Sunday, but any other day of the week, it's going to be at 8 p.m. So 8 p.m. is going to be my default time. Generate my times. It auto fills in there. First thing I'm going to do is just change my Sunday to a 2 o'clock performance. I'll get rid of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because I don't have any shows on those days. And then I will add performance. So now what this is doing is it's adding any performance on a day that falls between the 7th and the 30th, and it's automatically copying the information that we put in our initial show, our initial performance. So that capacity, if I did put in a special price of any kind, anything that's in that show is being copied, and there they are. So now I always do a spot check to make sure that it's working. So there's 192, and I just check 2 random dates. There we go. So now this show is ready to be sold online. You could put it online right now if you only have a couple of performances that have sales in them for your original show. But in this case, I know I've got a bunch, so I'm going to go take care of those first and then come back to this. So now the next step is transferring sales from the original performance or the original show into our mirror show. We'll go to our reports, we'll go by show, single performance. We want to work on one performance at a time, just because that'll keep it a little bit easier for us. So we'll double click on that. That gets us the browse of the report. Now, the browse report is nice because you can double click on any of these and it will take you right into that sale that we want to edit. So here's the sale. We see that it's for the 6th, and we've got our seating arrangements right here. Now, when I switch from a seating chart show to a general admission show, this will not save. If you want to keep that for any reason in the remarks, you'll just copy and paste that right now. Otherwise, that is always available under the sales history of the sale. So let's say that we do want to copy that over, so I'm copying it. I'm going to change my performance. I've already printed these tickets. I'm still going to do it. Change all the seats every time for this. We'll go to our American Mirror show. There's our August 6th. Select. Do I actually want to exchange them? Yes, I do. Now, it's asking me if I want to change the sale date. As a general rule, I never change the date sold. So I'm going to say no. And there we go. So now Natalie has been transferred to the mirror show. If I wanted to, I could put that seat back in there. Usually I don't see much reason to do this, except that it keeps a record of it in case you wanted to switch back to a seated plan at some point in time. Now, as you noted before, Natalie already has her tickets. We've already printed them out. We could print a receipt and send her an email with the new tickets attached. Most people might want to do that and just change their default settings for their email setup, which we can certainly help you do. Otherwise, you could mail out new tickets. What I've seen a lot of people doing right now is they just hold all the tickets at the box office so that anyone coming to the show needs to come and grab the tickets from the box office, or if not the box office, split up tables in the lobby to keep people far apart. But this sale has been transferred. So now you'll want to go through and do that for each of these sales. And you can go in and transfer just as you go until your performance is done. And there's no sales left in your original show. Now let's skip ahead a little bit and imagine that you've already done all of your transfers for for all of your shows. You've been selling that American Mirror show instead of an American in Paris, and the show's off sale. You're ready to go in and set up your house. So what you'll do is you'll go into the performance, and we have our one that we just did. Hopefully you have more than just one. But in this case, we would go in and we'd say we have 2 seats, and we'd block off 6 feet all around them. Once again, you'll want to watch that measuring video that Center Stage put out. And then the next sale could be 3 tickets. So we'll make sure that we have 6 feet, and then we'll make sure that we've got 3 seats. So you're really setting up the house. You've got complete control over where people sit, and then it's a general admission. So ushers are able to say, I've got 2 seats over here, I've got 3 seats over here. It really gives you the opportunity to set the house how you want it, and still have people socially distanced and be able to get the maximum capacity you can, because you're going to be setting that and watching it as you go. So like I said before, if you have any questions or you need help with anything, feel free to give us a call. We are still completely in business and ready to help you. You can email us at info@centerstage or call our support line.